What's up, everybody? XCO Grana here, and welcome back to Explore. Today we are doing the Will of Crota, the new strike, and what was the Nightfall for last week. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed the Nightfall or the new strike. I thought it was a lot of fun. Although we did go through some of the same sections of content that we have been playing through, it did lead us into a few or a little bit of a new area, I could say. But the Nightfall itself, I thought, was pretty challenging. I keep saying Nightfall, but the strike, it was a strike, and they put it in Nightfall form for this week, which I thought was a great idea. But let's talk about the details, and then what we'll do is we'll dive into what I really thought about the DLC. Okay, so I'm just giving you an overlook of what I was taking in for this fight, and then we'll get started. But the details. Let's talk about the details. All right, so in this DLC, right, we got what, 5 to 6 story missions, which I thought was okay. But what I was kind of like about was the fact that out of those 5 to 6 story missions, I say it was about 6 actually. 3 of them were bounties, guys. Well, it's okay that they were bounties. I like the way that they put these extra enemies in. So you can go on patrol mode and kind of farm them. We'll get into that later because that's another video for you guys. But at the same time, they were still bounties. So I was a little bit, but whatever, right? Moving on. So, just to let you know, all the missions were replayable, so you can go back. If you enjoy the missions, you can go back and play them again. They are available to you to play on level 30, which is the hardest difficulty that they have at this moment for them, which is good. Because not many people that I know of are 32. I think that what we saw some guy last week or something, or a couple days ago, not really last week, a couple days ago, just say that he had finally hit level 32, and he explained how he did it and everything like that. I thought that was pretty crazy, but hey, man, if you want to check more of that out, I think it's on the Bungie website, bungie.net. You can check the forums. I'm pretty sure you can find the link and information from there. But let's move on and keep talking about what was actually in this DLC. So the missions are replayable for you guys, right? And on top of the missions, we got some new bounties from Ares that you'll be able to do, because of course, Ares has a level, and of course, doing those bounties for her will help you to get that level up on her. And each time you do that, you open up a few more things that you have access to. She has some titles, and if you're wondering what these things are, just check the playlist out. I made sure and I did a nice thorough vendor vid for you guys, so it shows you all the changes that were in the vendors, all the stuff that they have for sale. If anything does change, we'll make sure and update that for you, but as of right now, everything is still the same as it was, so make sure you check that out. Okay, but yeah, so those new bounties will give you access to some titles. She has a couple of weapons, but the real important thing that Ares has, that I know people will be trying to get their hands on, are the materials that we will need in order to level up the raid gear that we get out of the end of Crota. And of course, some of the weapons. There's actually like no kidding, guys. I'm getting this video together for you. But there is a weapon that you can get. You can kind of farm it. It's a white weapon. You can also get it through the new raid from Crota's End. And it is actually, you can level it up, and you need some items from Ares as well, and that will help you level it up and turn it into an exotic. And so that's pretty exciting. I think that's cool. But moving on, we got a lot more to cover. So out of this thing, we did only get one strike, in which we are doing right now. So we covered that, and we have the raid. Okay, so Crota's End was a 6-player raid that they added to this thing, which is what I think is a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, like the Vault of Glass is a cool raid. I enjoy it, but it can be, to me, it can get on my nerves, and it's a bunch of puzzles that you have to do in that raid. And in Crota's End, it's more, it's a lot more teamwork involved. It's a lot more frantic. It's a way shorter raid, I will tell you that. Especially once you can get the timing down on the sections and how to get past things, and you got great teamwork. This raid you can really knock out pretty fast, I think. I mean I'm probably pretty sure once you get it down 30 minutes, you can run through it, no joke. But that's when you get it down packed. If not, it's gonna take you some time to get there. But it's a great raid. I have a lot of fun with that thing, guys. It's so much fun. I mean, I spent some time in it just messing around in the first part of it. We call it the zombie run. A vid is coming, but it was just so much fun. I was just having, Phoenix and Obi and I were just in there 3-man and seeing what we could do and how if we could find some shortcuts through there to save some time, and it was good times. I didn't really do that in the Vault of Glass. It kind of bored me out after a while, and when I get in there, I really just go in there for the gear and trying to get my shards, which, by the way, I need to go in there because I have had no desire to play the Vault of Glass since the DLC come out, and that's just due to what the DLC did to the game in my respect. But we're almost there. We're going to be talking about that here in a second. So again, back to the facts here. Bungie did add 2 additional light levels, so we did move from a max of 30 to 32, which now you can obtain the light level of 31 through, this is level 31. The gear itself has level 33 light on it, okay, or more. If it's more, it's probably an exotic or a new raid piece. Now, you can get all the kind of gear you want to get you to raid 31 from just about any of the vendors and the Vanguard vendors. All you need are Crucible marks and Vanguard marks and enough Glimmer, and you can get your gear. Okay, so all you got to do is go check that out. And I'm sorry, Glimmer, but make sure you have your marks, okay, because you're gonna definitely need those. You're gonna need Crucible or Vanguard marks to get those pieces you need. All right, and that's simple, guys. It's really simple to get to 31, and the only way we can get to 32 right now is through the use of a full set of raid gear, new raid gear from Crota's End, or a mixture of the new raid gear and exotic. And when I say exotic, I mean either your old upgraded exotics, or if you found one of the new exotics that's already got the new light levels and all that good stuff on it. Okay, so that's what they added on top of the ways that we need, the materials that we need in order to ascend our new gear. If you want to know more information on that, I made an ascend video for you guys, shows you what you need, how you can do it, and everything like that. So make sure you check out the playlist. Okay, so now with all the facts put out there, guys, it's time for me to talk about what I really thought, about the DLC. It failed me. Honestly, it failed me. And the reason why it failed me is because it was nothing like I expected it to be. And, I think the reason why it failed me is because, for me, I've been playing games for a long time, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have too. And, I am waiting for a developer to hit the nail on the head with the game and give it the support it needs and the servers and because it seems like I can't find a game on the console that just really, I want to play an MMO style game on consoles, me personally. I'm kind of tired of playing just the, regular, single player games, or, 2-4 player games, Call of Duty style games where you're going, head to head against people, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. But I am one of the games that really amazed me, that I enjoyed so much, guys, and I keep thinking about that, is Final Fantasy 11. When I played that MMO, it was outstanding, and I really enjoyed the way it was so big. It was so many people, and what was so phenomenal is that everyone who played that game, whether you were on PC, on at that time it was Xbox or PlayStation, everyone played, and you had a bunch of different servers. But if you picked a server, you played with everyone from everything. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all split up and divided. So there was always so many people to play or to get with or to do things with, or it was just amazing. And I'm really looking for something like that on the console, being that that to me was the only PC MMO style game that even touched console. And let me see, I could be wrong, because my boy Obi played Phantasy Star, and I think that was like that original one. I don't remember what the name of it, but I know it was a Phantasy Star, and he played it forever, man. I mean, he played it forever, just like I played 11. So I can imagine it was really good, and they kept expanding on it. And I tell you, there was never a time where there was nothing that you felt that you were bored. It was always something to do to progress your character or your gear or your weapons or the storyline or something, but keep this in mind too, that we're talking about a game that was been out for like over 10 years. So it's had a lot of developing. It's had a lot of time to develop. It's had a lot of depth put into it. So, I never played the game when it first came out, so I don't know how big it was. But for me, going back to Destiny, I was thinking, when I was reading about it, that's what I was getting out of it. It was going to be, on that level, and it was going to be, on console. And no, it was not going to be available to play with PlayStation and PC players, but it was going to be something that was going to have that feel. You know what I mean? So, the whole game in that aspect, when it came out, that disappointed me. But the DLC just went further in that by, hurting the people who played the game. And they hurt the people who really spend time on it. I don't understand that. I didn't get that. The way they had to, we got to reset our weapons and everything like that. I thought that was kind of whack. I wish they had been up front and said that in the beginning, because that would have saved people a lot of time, which is probably something they didn't want, right? They wanted us to spend time on their game. But I feel that there are ways to introduce different modes or different content. That's what I'm looking for. Different content into the game that will people can enjoy and make them want to spend time on the game. For me, instead of resetting my weapon the way they have it set up right now, the way they did this in this DLC, I would have felt so much better if I felt like I was working on it, like it was, I was leveling it up. I was continuing to develop the weapon or my armor, per se. They just kind of failed me on that. And Bungie's talking about having a 10-year plan for this game and people playing it for 10 years. I don't see it at this moment, because I know that you and I don't want to repeat things the way they have it set up right now. Like I say, if we're progressing, that's one thing. But having to start over and have that feeling of starting over and using the same stuff, having to go out and grind and do all the same things over again, for the same weapon or piece of armor that we're wearing, is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So there it is, guys. That's my thoughts on it. That's how I'm feeling about it. Although I'm still playing it, which I can't tell you what's up with that. I'm still playing it a lot. It's a game that I do like to play, but I just did not like how Bungie did us on it. So that's my thoughts, people. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time, all right? You have a great day. Later, everybody.
Hit the red button, please.